Hello, welcome back to Blender Sushi Live Noding. In this episode, I'm gonna try to create this Chinese Sempoa, the Chinese old school calculator. You might have seen this somewhere at you may be in Chinatown at the like a medicine shop. But I found this like a Chinese Sempoa is really cool kind of device from the past, and I really want to recreate it using Blender procedurally, and this is actually a good example. And I'm gonna practice first. This is probably like it's gonna be like an improvisation. I might be able to create it under 10 minutes, but I might do it longer time, but we will see. So Chinese Sempoa try. So of course, in order to make like a procedural objects that's like perfect and then really nicely done using nodes, it's actually sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. When it comes to detail, sometimes can be tricky. But yeah, let's get into it. So I'll reopen Blender. So I just now the Blender crashes because I opened my computer like whole night. But let's see how it goes. Let's start with a fresh Blender. File, save as Chinese Sempoa try. Delete everything, go to compositing, Sverchok, plane, right click, connect to viewer draw. So I started with a plane, okay, because I know that the plane can actually generate the template for Sempoa, because it's basically a square. So we start with some kind of square shapes, and then Sempoa, the basic one actually looks a bit like calculator, just sideways. What's interesting here is that we can control the step in X and Y, and that can be for our Sempoa, especially if we are using like a list input. If we are using like multiple numbers here, you can see that we can easily generate some kind of Sempoa. Let me do it properly. So this is interesting. Float. Let me try again. List input, length of 2, float. Plug this into that guy. I'm pretty sure it was working before. Oh, there you go. I think I forgot. So just now I was like scrubbing here, and I can't see anything because I need to have like more data here. Okay, that's a nice gotcha. Anyhow, so now we have enough like points, like 3 by 2, and we also have this multiple data that's coming in from this side, and this is good to make our Chinese Sempoa. And there you go. Like I said, it's shaped a little bit like calculator, just like sideways. And so now we have just a plane, like a plane objects. And with this guy, we can always like kind of offset it or inset it, just extrude it up one time. So I like this one node here called offset. And this guy, if you just plug it in like that, I know that it's gonna generate some kind of frame. And we can control the radius as well to get a nice border, and then maybe add a bit of detail. So yeah, I think we can work with this, and it's kind of already starting to make sense what I'm trying to create. And we just need to extrude it up. So extrude region by the normal. There you go. It's starting to look like the Chinese Sempoa, of course. But we just need to make like, you know, like the, what do you call it? Something that like the sticks that looks like the, like a satay or something. Satay is the type of food. So for that, I will actually use another plane node, and let's see. I can hide this for now, or just change color. So this guy, what's important is not the face, but the edges. So we can have the edges based on this guy right here. We can increase the number. Let's see. Should be a bit like that. So we are trying to create just these edges to represent the stick. So I'll increase it. Oh, okay, this is, yeah, it's interesting. We can probably normalize it, but I'm not gonna do that. So okay, we have this, and if I bake it, it looks like, you know, just like an outline of a plane. That's not what we want. What we want is, if we use the UV connection, we can get just the edges, not like this, but more like if we separate it. There you go. If I bake it out, now we have just the stick. So that's good, because we use like a polyline, or like a, I think pipe can do it as well. Pipe can turn the stick into a pipe. And not close, cup fill, maybe. So this kind of doing it. The size, I need to change it again. There are many ways to create this, but this is one of the easiest. Of course, the pipe just do the job. And let's see if I can control this guy. So it's a matter of scaling it and move it. So this is kind of alright, kind of decent. We actually have an extra stick there, but still, this is like just a trial, so it's kind of okay. But you get the idea. We have this kind of Sempoa kind of template. Oops, Sempoa. So this is still a concept, and then once we have this guy, you want to have all these little beads. For that, we can use the donuts, and then maybe we need to have another plain MK2. Maybe, let's see, we can probably use these edges and then just vector interpolation it. So this is kind of like might be a little bit strange, but I think it will actually work. So this UV connection goes in there. Split in slices. Trying to, okay, this doesn't look like it is working. Let me try a different way. Plain. Probably not vector interpolations. Something simple is just so we want to have like a duplicates of the beads. The beads can be a donut, of course, a torus, simple torus, or even simpler, we can have a ring. So ring might do the job, but we need to extrude it up. So back with torus, just a simplified torus, 8 by 4. 8 by 8 maybe. Yep, we can still control the radius of the torus. And this is of course going to be for the beads. So how do we put the beads along this stick? So that's the question. So for that I need to think a little bit. Okay, we got this guy right here that we can bake. Of course, that's that thing. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we can use the vector interpolations, but we need to just know the end points of each of this guy. Or the easiest way, of course, just to use a line, and we're gonna duplicate the line somehow. So viewer draw for the line, and this is the matrix. So we're gonna have a line, and this is gonna be for the satire thing, and we're gonna duplicate this ring for the lines. It's as simple as doing this. Basically, plug this into the matrix. This is the torus, and we can rotate the ring. To rotate the rings, the easiest way is to use a rewire. So that's how you can do that. And then you just need to rotate the line as well. There you go, we are starting to get something there. So you get the idea. This is how one would create the Chinese Sempoa. Of course, if you look at the detail of Sempoa, this ring is not really a ring. It's shaped more like the beads. It's hard to explain, but this is pretty much all the step-by-step procedure. If you want to kind of procedurally generate a Chinese Sempoa. So it's all, whoops. Procedural. You can think about the step-by-step, and then, yeah, this is actually quite fun. I found it. There you go. I think that's pretty good. So that's one way, you know, how you can approach creating a Chinese Sempoa. So we have 3 different parts: the blue one, and then the sticks, and then this guy right here. But a good procedural setup is that something that you can always change, you know, and then it will update, and everything will update and kind of conform to the design of the template. So this is not finished. This is still just a test, of course, not perfect, but it is a good start, I guess. So hopefully you enjoy this live noding. Let me know what you think. Maybe you have suggestion. Maybe you can do this better. Let me know. And thanks again. And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.